and welcome to The Walking Dead Maniacs. This is Felix or Ricky Dicky Doodah Grimes, and this is Gina, better known as Tara,
Hey y'all.
and Aaron, better known as I Am Negan.
Howdy, everybody.
How's it going, guys? We're revamping the show, and in doing that, I kind of want to get a brief introduction to some of you guys that never seen our older stuff, and to go forward on our newer stuff. Gina, can you
Yes.
tell me what brought you into the whole Walking Dead lore and how do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, I didn't watch it until I started watching it when season 4 was airing. I didn't watch it at all before that. And I had just had to leave work because I was sick and I needed something to watch. So I put it on because my daughter was watching it. And I think I got hooked pretty quick. Um, Definitely before the end of season 1, I was all in. And I've been all in ever since. And it just I don't know how to explain the Walking Dead universe to me, but it's like all the time. Like I am watching something associated with the Walking Dead all the time. I'm always looking for new Walking Dead merchandise everywhere I go. It's just kind of consumed me.
I can tell, I see your background. Love it. And Aaron, how did you get into The Walking Dead?
So, I've always liked horror movies since I was a kid. The first horror movie I ever watched was Phantasm when I was like 4 years old. Freaked me out completely. I'm still scared of that movie, but I love it. Always liked Night of the Living Dead. I remember being a little kid going to the library when I was just, maybe 6, 7 years old, and they had a VCR, back then, and I checked out Night of the Living Dead and watched it in the back of this library. So I always liked zombies, always liked that kind of stuff. So when I do a lot of comics, so I have a huge collection. You can see behind me all my comics. Um, so I got into the Walking Dead comics a little bit. It was probably in maybe the teens or 20s of that series. So it was well before the show came out. The show came out, and I was like, I'm not going to watch this right away. So I kind of gave it a season or two. I think it was the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, and I started watching it regularly and then had to go back, of course, and catch up. I've watched the whole series now, at least all the way through twice, and the first 4 or 5 seasons I've watched them, I think, at least 4 times. So it's such an interesting way to address that. I mean, what's new about okay, zombies walking the earth, attacking people, biting people, turn them into zombies, right? It's all that's pretty much part and parcel for zombie lore, but it's the way they address the personal side of things, and it's more about how the people interact with other people in that environment. So that's what I really like is the personal side of the relationships and everything that go on in that show. It's just amazing.
To comment on that, that's kind of how my mom got hooked. My mom, as at an early age, she introduced me into horror movies. My favorite horror movie of all time is the original Halloween because of my mother. Used to watch Unsolved Mysteries with her. She kind of liked all that, and that's how I got into it. And then because of that, my kids are into horror movies, which kind of brings us into The Walking Dead. Me and the boys were, I think, binging the first season again because we watched that first season like over and over and over again. And my mom was walking by, and she's like, "What are you guys doing? What's this? What are you watching?" We told her it's basically a soap opera with zombies. It's about the people, and then
Right.
you throw in the zombies, and that kind of got her like, let me see an episode. I'm like, let's just watch the first six. They're not even an hour long, and there's only six of them, and we'll go from there. And she was hooked. Right from that, she was hooked. So she
Yeah.
was
Yep.
watching it with us every Sunday. But going back to me, my youngest son liked zombies, so when we watched the remake of Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder, he was in love with that movie. And then we were talking about it, and we are like, "Oh, it's a nice remake." What do you mean it's a remake? I'm like, "Well, it's not the original." So we showed him the original. He had already seen Night of the Living Dead, but we showed him the original Dawn of the Dead. He fell in love with that. He actually liked the original one better than the newer one.
It is
Um,
better.
he became, he was big into zombies, like I was saying. And then we saw a trailer for this Walking Dead show. We're like, what's this? It's gonna be on Halloween, all right. So I'll always remember the day my mom actually went and took the kids around, but we stayed and gave out candy. Let's just say we stopped giving out candy and turned off the lights because we started watching The Walking Dead and we were hooked. I do believe we watched it twice that night, and my kids watched it with us, and they were hooked. So the next Sunday, we're like, "Hey, let's watch the next episode," and then the next episode, and then it just became our Sunday thing. We started buying pizza or wings. We would just hang out, watch The Walking Dead. After the second season, would watch The Talking Dead. We just got hooked in the whole everything. Went to Fear, started watching all the other stuff they did. Again, my mom, I think in season 2 or 3, we were binging the first season when that incident happened, what I was saying, and she got hooked. So it just became a thing every Sunday. The whole household ended up coming together and watching it. And to this day, Walking Dead is no longer on, but everybody knows I'm busy on Sundays because to this day we order pizza and wings and we sit in front of the TV with our kids and just we don't see our kids all week, but on Sundays they're there with us, all day we're eating, watch
Nice.
TV, and that's just become a tradition that The Walking Dead did for us. To The
That's
Walking
cool.
Dead, me personally, I I get obsessed with things because when it comes to Walking Dead, I need everything to do with it. I watched shows over and over and over again. I've watched the first season at least a good 4, 5, 6 times. I've watched the whole show maybe 3 times. I didn't watch the later seasons. I'm sorry, I didn't watch them too much, but yeah, Daryl Dixon came out, Dead City, even The World Beyond. I liked it for what it was, to be honest with you.
The
Yeah,
World Beyond,
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
and
Did
and
you?
Fear the
Okay.
Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead is hit and miss for me.
It
Um,
is.
but in saying that, the more I watch it now, because in my room, just for background noise, there's the Walking Dead channel. I don't know if you guys have it or not, but it's always on, like just for background noise.
Yeah.
So sometimes when they're showing the different seasons, the more I watch it, the more it's getting not better, but I'm enjoying it
Mm.
and I understand it more. Yeah,
To
that
watch
original.
things I have to watch things several times because I don't grasp everything. So if it's something that I really like, I have to watch it several times. And I bet I've watched Fear the Walking Dead now 4 or 5 complete times from season 1 all
Wow.
the way through, and every season it gets better, or
I
every
need,
time I watch it, it gets better.
Yep.
but yeah, Walking Dead is my favorite TV show of all time, and I can gush and go on and on and on about it. But there you have it. For Gina, Aaron, and myself and the entire Mod Squad, see you next time.